Okay. Hi. Well. Hello, Mark Grandy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Where were you when you read Shams? Huh?
I was confused as hell. He's opting out? I did not have that on my bingo card.
No.
I would have put it like a 99.9% chance he takes the $27 million because I thought the Warriors were playing hardball with him.
I didn't think the Warriors were playing hardball with him. I thought that they were just they were going to be completely and totally protective of their cap beyond next season. And no reason to do it now if you didn't need to do it now. I had said last week, this kind of came up on some level when the Horford thing came up.
Yeah, what does it mean for Draymond?
Has anybody checked on Guru today? Because I feel like his head might have flown off the body and it's rolling down the street. Because remember when we sat there with him last week?
Yep.
And the Horford thing, he's like, Draymond he's getting an extension too. And at least my response to that was he might, but only if there's a reason for it. To me, the Warriors' spot was Draymond opt out and get two is fine if they need that money this year for something.
And the something generally everyone assumes is LeBron or almost nothing else.
Well, I don't know about that. That's an interesting one.
It kind of feels that way.
It gets into the weeds a little bit. To me, the Warriors would be willing to take the chance. Solely for, is it realistic?
LeBron?
Yes. And if you don't get him and you end up with Draymond on a 2-year deal out of that and more flexibility this year, is that the end of the world? That'd be my bet that the Warriors are like, we're willing to take the calculated risk. And if we get LeBron, it's totally worth it. And if we don't, the worst thing is now Draymond's on the team for 2 more years, which is probably the plan anyway.
Yeah, obviously, I mean...
I don't think that's that big of a cost.
The timeline with which this all has to play out is impacting this year. Obviously, we talk about tomorrow, free agency opens, and there's, 3 o'clock Pacific tomorrow is the moment that teams can start negotiating with players. But, that's a farce because the second 3 o'clock rolls around, you will hear immediate agreements, meaning that they have been in contact with players ahead of time. But... today being the deadline for player and team options to be picked up or to be declined, that has to happen first before you can have any official agreements with players. So this decision from Draymond, which I think was a decision made by both Draymond and the Warriors, had to happen first. And it happened today, and now you figure out what happens next. Is LeBron playing the Warriors? Is Draymond playing the Warriors? Is Anthony Davis playing the Warriors? Is Rich Paul playing the Warriors? Any combination of those 4 people, are they playing the Warriors? Or is this realistic that Draymond opts out, takes less per year so that they can give the full $15 million non-taxpayer mid-level exception to LeBron, and then they also trade Jimmy plus whatever to get Anthony Davis, and you bring LeBron and AD along with Steph and Draymond and Al Horford for at least a year, and you see what the hell happens. Seems very unlikely to me, but it became a lot more likely with Draymond opting out today.
Yeah, it became possible. It became possible.
And I don't think the Warriors would want that to happen if they didn't have an inkling that it was possible.
Possible. Yeah.
Not necessarily likely,
but is possible.
But possible.
Yeah, is possible enough to go down that road. And my answer is probably. I don't think the Warriors think the idea of Draymond in 2 years is some death blow, some kick in the shin, some problem. I just don't think that they see it that way. You might. I get it. We're well aware that a lot of Warrior fans, like Draymond, the whole experience has run its course for you. I get it. I think we all get that. They don't see it that way. And I don't think that they feel like this can be just rebooted while Steph Curry is still on the team at the snap of a finger, like so many of us would like to be true. This is, and you and I have talked about this from 17 different angles. Like this Warrior fan thing of must get roster in shape for championship now. October's coming. It's just not realistic to me. So I don't even look at this that way. I know so many people do. If you get Anthony Davis and LeBron James, does that mean you can win a championship? I don't know. Maybe, probably not. But is that everything? and
winning a championship.
Well, think about it this way. Got into a conversation the last 2 weekends on Fox with Ephraim about this.
Okay.
If Giannis Antetokounmpo is actually about winning a damn ring, Miami with Bam and no one else?
Andrew Wiggins, their third best player.
Do you all really think that that's what Giannis just did? Or did he find some sunshine? Like, I don't begrudge guys for that. So if LeBron wants this.
It is hard when you make that much money to go to a team that doesn't blow it up by getting you. It is really hard.
Right.
But yeah, I'm with you.
Kevin Durant famously is like, I got to keep in mind, I'm really expensive. So if I come to you, it guts you.
Yeah. It's usually why the team's trading away the aging superstar making the max generally wins those deals. Because the team acquiring them usually don't win a championship, and the team trading them away get a boatload of first-round picks.
Let's like, just for fun exercise, let's say you're Joe Lacob, you're Kirk Lacob, you're Mike Dunleavy, you're Steve Kerr, you're Steph Curry, you're Draymond, you're LeBron, and you're Anthony Davis, and you're Rich Paul.
Okay.
And you do this.
All on the Warriors.
You do this. Okay. You actually do the unthinkable, and you don't win a championship. Is it a disaster? Is it?
The way it becomes a disaster, I guess, is if you not only don't win a championship, but you fall flat on your face, no one stays healthy, and you're a play-in team again, and the picks that you gave to Washington turn out to be really good players.
Right. So you do this, you try for a year or two, it largely just leads to injury and now makes your ability to get better in the future. You turned 4 years into 10.
Yes, because you got rid of near future assets.
But that's a lot of things that would have to go wrong. Let's say that they're a second round out.
They're the 5 seed. They win the first round. They lose to OKC in the second round or whatever it is.
The building is pulsating. It's all over national TV. Jersey sales are through the roof. And at the end of all of this, you're able to use some of the assets that are still in play, let's say Anthony Davis at age 35, to recoup an asset or two in the process. Would you look back on it if you're any of those guys and be like, wow, we screwed up? I don't think they would. So it's not, as usual, in my mind, it's not championship or bust. It's relevance. It's high-level relevance. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what actually probably was the sick taste in the mouth of Joe Lacob and Steph Curry and others, Steve Kerr, last year, much more so than we didn't compete for a ring, is that, man, there were a lot of nights where we felt irrelevant. That's what you're trying to avoid. And that's why I can see why this would have grabbed their attention.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like you're doubling down on the strategy that didn't work last year.
No question.
Doesn't mean it's going to be any better this time around.
This is one of those.
Jimmy Butler has been 10 times more healthy than Anthony Davis.
Remember when Jimmy Garoppolo went on that date with the adult film person?
Oh, yeah.
This is one of those things. I know this is a bad idea when you're doing it. But you might still do it. No, I know people who, when they were walking down the aisle, they're like, this is probably not a great idea, but we're here. We've been through this.
Okay, but when did you realize it wasn't a good idea?
No. Like, I know people who sort of had feelings change in their gut a week, 2, 3, a month
before the wedding.
But like, there's so many, people have been invited and we're here.
Oh yeah, you're in too deep at that point.
Somebody might be pregnant. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of stuff going on. It's really hard.
So you're saying the Warriors are pregnant?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not going to ask. That's inappropriate.
Are they in too deep to this?
That's a fun question and a fun sort of way to frame it.
Like, is it too late to back out? Not of this deal, but just where they are. Because they are kind of stuck between two spots, and that's the nature of having a 37, 38-year-old Steph Curry on your roster, right?
And I think it's their DNA. Now, I say all that to tell you, I will firmly plant my chip. If I got 2 circles in front of me, I will firmly plant my chip in, this is not going to happen. This ain't happening. This does not add up with everything that, listen, if you're giving me two possibilities, which is one, Warriors about to shock this league and pull the card and they nailed everybody. They were the ones having right? They've got the baton in this Survivor game. That's one option. Option two is Rich Paul talked to three of his biggest clients and said, this is how we get an extension with your current team.
Yeah, you guys all want to stay where you are, right? As long as they offer me the money in the years that I want. Yes, Rich.
That is absolutely my bet as to how this plays out.
And have you noticed that since the Draymond news broke this morning, there are reports that LeBron is now talking to the Lakers after not talking to the Lakers before, and how now the Wizards are discussing potentially a max extension for Anthony Davis?
This is how you get people to blink. And Rich Paul did not become Rich Paul by being dumb.
And are the Warriors just going to let Draymond walk away now?
So
some fans might say, yeah, they should, but no, they won't do that.
No, they won't do that. And what they will run the risk of is there will be voices, particularly sports media voices, similar to our thoughts are with my partner today. He's fine, but he's going under a minor medical procedure today. And he's one of the sports media people who will come back 2 weeks from now, and he'll be like, the Warriors got played. They got schooled. Rich Paul used him as a pawn in his big game. Same thing he did with Aaron Judge and the Giants. Aaron Judge, when the Giants, Farhan got played. I bet the Warriors are totally willing to be like, speak into your microphone, we're fine. We're willing to take the chance of that perception to go down this road, and the worst thing that could happen is Draymond plays for us for 2 more years.
Them being played here is just another year of Draymond, as opposed to them losing out on everything else.
Which they've said publicly they're planning to do anyway. They've never
said that.
They've absolutely said they want Draymond to finish his career here.
Yeah.
And Draymond has said he would like it to be more than 1 year.
Like the Warriors haven't said they want it to be more than 1 year. They have said they want him to retire a Warrior.
Right.
And maybe that means, hey, Draymond, once you finish this year, go ahead and retire, buddy.
I mean, maybe, but...
Or maybe it means come back on a 1 year, $5 million deal next year.
They already signed a 40-year-old to a 2-year deal. Why would they be so scared of a 36-year-old?
It seemed like they were playing hardball with him this whole offseason. I know the offseason's young.
Or did we just...
It seemed like Mike Dunleavy was pretty anti any negotiations with Draymond for a second year.
I mean, I don't...
And now it's maybe changed.
I don't know that we're getting straight answers from Mike Dunleavy at press conferences. He's never given them to us before.
I was more looking at tone and body language, I thought.